Hi guys, welcome to the first episode of the podcast.
Endo meets us.
So exciting. Here we are. We literally have all the gear and no idea.
Literally no idea.
We're figuring it out as we go. Got a wine in our hands because, we just need it.
It's the first one.
Yeah,
Give us grace.
The first one. But thank you all for joining us. We are so excited and grateful that you are listening. We just wanted to kind of do a little deep dive into both of our journeys, but we will go into it deeper in a future episode, but just kind of like a top line brief background. And then we kind of just wanted to also talk about our why we started the podcast, and then what actually is endo, because it is so confusing.
It's so complicated.
It's so complex and there's so much misinformation. So we really just want to
break it down
for you guys.
And hopefully help a little bit more with information.
So I'm Tash, full name Natasha, but everyone calls me Tash, so much easier. I was diagnosed with endo about 3.5 years ago, and since then I've had 2 surgeries. But we'll go deeper into my story a little bit later.
My name's Amelia. I do go by the name Mim. I have had 3 surgeries. I got diagnosed 3 years ago, so 1 surgery every year.
So crazy. But
again, we'll dive deep into my journey a little later on. First, we wanted to introduce ourselves, how we met, and why and how we became
friends.
Why and how we got to where we are today. Yes.
Oh my God. So Mim and her now husband Dane moved in upstairs in our unit block.
Neighbours.
And we just became friends, really hit it off.
And then I think I was just asking Tash about a pair of pants because I was going in for my 3rd surgery in a couple of weeks. And then, Tash, I think you said to me, what's your surgery? And I told you. And then you were like, oh, my God, I have the same. And that's how we kind of came to the realization that we both have it.
We both have endo.
And then we really just clicked. I think as well that happened because it's not very often that you meet someone with endo, you know? I mean, I don't know about you, but I have never met anyone with it. So it was like, oh, my God, finally someone gets me.
100%.
You know?
Also, people don't necessarily want to talk about it, or they don't talk about it because they feel like someone won't understand. So you were like, I am going in for surgery, but you weren't like, I'm going in for endometriosis surgery, because you were like, oh my, I'm not going to understand.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You kind of...
And I didn't want to pry either because obviously I don't know what surgery you're going in for. But I mean, obviously we should all ask the question because then we can give each other empathy.
And I think as well, if you are going in for endo surgery, be open about that and tell people that, because it's such an isolating disease as is. So
100%.
Let people know that you're going through that, you know?
Yeah,
so exactly. I think that was a big, I guess, learning as well. I've just told you this and now I've learned that you have it too. You know, that's huge. So that's how we became super close.
Yes.
And
the idea for the podcast kind of came about. We were just talking, since we learnt we both had endo, trading our tips and tricks and things that work, don't work, our struggles.
Yeah. Having a bad day, what have you done for this? Or
exactly. Then
have you got any painkillers?
And then it kind of just grew, and we were like, we have to do something and we have to talk about it. So that's why we're here.
Yeah, we just kind of came up with the idea one day and just thought, you know what? No one's really talking about it.
Yeah, no one's talking about it.
Yeah, people need to. So that is why we made Endo Meets Us.
Yes.
Yes, and here we are.
With a wine.
And a mic.
And a mic. But I feel like through the whole process of advocating for ourselves and pushing for answers, navigating the confusion, because endo is so confusing, and eventually undergoing surgery. Well, you 3 times.
You twice.
Myself twice.
And I think as well with all of that, and you say how confusing it is, I don't know about you, but everything I know about it, I've learned from research and spending time, right? Yeah. Your surgeon, your specialist, your gynecologist, no one talks to you about what it actually is.
No.
So I think that's why we have decided to come here and talk to you guys, because I'm sure you're in the same boat.
Yeah, 100%. And like even like after my surgery, I was just told to, like, I got the marina put in and that was kind of it. And
Yeah.
it's like, that's a whole nother episode, which don't worry, we're going to dive into.
We got a lot to talk about.
We got a lot to talk about. But yeah, I feel like through everything, like we felt it all. And
Absolutely.
everyone that goes through this journey, whether you're at the beginning, you're in the middle, you're like feeling like you've got a grasp on it, I feel like you will feel it all, and it kind of goes in waves.
Yeah,
like,
and you got to ride the wave too, but you've also got to give yourself grace, be nice to yourself.
Be
and
nice to yourself.
There's so much to take in. Like it's hard.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like the frustration, the lack of knowledge, the conflicting advice, the being dismissed, the loneliness, the isolation, the fear, the financial pressures, the medical burnout. I know I'm in the medical burnout
100%,
right now.
100%, me too. And I think as well, you know, the complete overwhelm of not knowing what to do next.
Yeah.
And wondering if there's even a next step at all. Like, I think you just go in these cycles of having appointments and seeing all these specialists and all these things.
Yeah.
And then it's just kind of like, well, where do I actually go next and what's actually helping?
100%.
Like,
yeah, it's so hard. Yeah, I feel like we both had to become experts because there was no information.
100%.
And the information that's out there, there's a lot of misinformation, which is so confusing as well. So it's like,
So
really have to deep dive.
And even I think, you know, I've had situations where my surgeon will send me to a specialist and that specialist will send me to another specialist.
Yeah.
And I'm in this cycle of like,
yeah.
I feel like I'm almost just getting shoved to the next person because no one really knows what to do.
And forking out more and more money.
More and more money.
Yeah, more and more money. And I feel like, so this is like you kind of have to become an expert yourself and an expert in your own body and learning your own body. And we've learned the hard way that what works for one person doesn't work for someone else. Like sometimes what works for me doesn't work for you.
And I think that's another topic we'll touch on later down the track, but you know, endometriosis is so different for everybody.
Yes.
Like it's not just this, you know, one disease and everyone feels it the same. I think everyone really does feel it differently, and
they do.
That's why you do have to become an expert in your own body.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and healing isn't linear. Like you go 100%. Forwards and then sometimes you feel like you're taking like 3 steps back.
100%. You could be having a really great day or a great week and then all of a sudden you feel like you're back at square one again.
Yeah, like your whole world.
Just basically
just shattered.
Yes.
Yeah, and yeah, I know. It's crazy.
I honestly, like, I'll have days where I feel amazing. Like, I'll get up, I'll go to Pilates, I'll go for a walk, I'll do all of these things. And I'm like, wow, I just got through a whole entire day of feeling good.
Amazing.
And then I'm like, that's not right.
Yeah.
Like, well, hang on a second.
I feel like you're just constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop.
100%.
Like when you're having a good day, you're like, is it coming?
When's it going to come?
When's it coming?
Yeah.
Because it's like, but now I'm kind of like make the most of those times.
100%.
Which I probably definitely push myself too much because I'm like, fuck, I feel so good. I've got to like do all the things.
Exercise. I'm going to do all of these
meet up with all my friends.
And then you burn out.
Do it all now. Yeah, and then you burn out.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
So this podcast isn't just a place for our stories, it's a place for everyone's too, because we want to hear all your stories, and it's a place to listen, to share, to reflect, and to take what resonates with you.
I think as well, like, it would be so nice to bring in experts from different fields who can share real experiences, like, for example, naturopaths, nutritionists, you know, GPs, physios, people who have helped people in the endo community and have their kind of, I don't know, view on it and what they think might work. And again, not everything works for everybody, but if we can have all of these different opinions and pieces of advice, then maybe that will help somebody, and that is our goal here, is to help you guys. Yeah.
Even just finding some comfort, finding like your way on this journey.
Yeah. And you know, I only found out recently about physios and how they how they can help with pain. So even that might help you, and like that's our plan.
Yeah, definitely. And also I feel like if it's about not being discouraged too, if you try something and it doesn't work for you.
Absolutely.
I feel like I've gone down that route and I've like spent money on things and I'm like, yes, I'm going to just try this because it's worked for someone else, and that I just really didn't feel right in my body, and it probably actually wasn't right in my body at the right time.
Yes.
Like it might have been right a little bit further down the track or when I was feeling stronger, but
Yeah.
I think it's too much. I feel like when you get your diagnosis, you're trying to like fix it.
Exactly.
You're just jumping in and you're like, I'm going to do this, this, and this. And it's like, actually just stop, take a minute, let your body heal.
And I think what's really important in those moments when you get that diagnosis is to take the time.
Yeah.
You know, to take it in and feel what works best for you. And I think when you do get your diagnosis, you know, people say, oh, go see this person, go see that person. This worked really well for someone that I know and la. And it's really overwhelming.
It's so overwhelming.
Like, just,
That's the word,
think
overwhelming.
you just have, it's so overwhelming.
Yeah.
And you just sit there and you're like, oh my God, like I have to do all of these things and I don't even know where to start. And I think it's really important. I don't know if you know someone who's going through it or you're about to go through it, just give yourself grace. And rather than being like, oh, this worked for someone that I know, so you should do it, don't.
Don't. I completely agree. I feel like if someone gives you their advice, just be like, okay, amazing, thank you. I'm just going to sit with it for a minute, see how that feels. And then if it feels right for you, definitely try it.
But you don't have to try it.
Yeah, you don't have to try it. And because sometimes, I don't know about you, but sometimes I feel like such a failure or like I'm angry at my body because it's not doing what it's supposed to do or it's not reacting how I thought it would react after those appointments or
and also like I think things like physio and nutritionists and all of that, like it's not going to happen in day one. Like it's 100%. Months and months and months. And that's also a commitment. It's a financial commitment. It's a mental commitment. It's time off work. It's so many things. So if you can't do that for whatever reason, that's okay too, you know? Like
100%.
I know for me, diet is a really big factor. So if I don't have the money to be spending on all of these appointments, I really focus on that, you know?
100%.
So there's always things that you can do to work around those things. The appointments and the advice. And
definitely.
Yeah,
I feel like that, it's just there's no one size fits all.
No, not at all.
No. This space is completely free of judgment because I feel like we judge ourselves enough, and that's why we wanted to create this podcast, because we wanted to hear your stories, our stories, and just know like you're not alone. And
absolutely. And I think as well, like just giving space to love yourself again, because I don't know about you, but I literally will have days where I hate my body. I can't look at my body. Like everything about it annoys me, and that's because, like you say, like it's not working right or it's not doing the things it should be doing right, and it's causing me pain, but I'm doing all of the right things. So
I feel like that's definitely such a struggle.
So this is just a space that we've created to hopefully help you guys as well to just be kind.
Be kind to yourself. Love yourself again, step by step, because it is a journey.
It's a huge one.
Yeah, we're both definitely still on that journey. But we're here to connect with you, with others, and most importantly with yourself.
Yeah, and also just to listen to your body, to honour your soul, because sometimes they need different things.
And they both deserve to be heard. And if you're feeling overwhelmed and don't know what to do next, because bloody hell, endometriosis is confusing.
It's a roller coaster.
It is a roller coaster. That's exactly why we created Endo Meets Us.
Yeah, and I think if we really want to offer guidance, and when everything feels like too much, support when things get heavy, and a space to explore what truly resonates with you. Because like we say, endometriosis is not a one size fits all.
No. And it's one small step, a gentle step at a time.
Yeah.
So what is endometriosis? Because it can be overwhelming and confusing, and I think we just need to set the record straight because there's a lot of misinformation out there. I'm going to read from our trusty paper because I just want to make sure that I'm getting the definition correct because it's so important. So endometriosis by definition is a chronic and often painful condition where tissue similar to the lining of the uterus but not the same grows outside the uterus.
And I think that's a really important sentence.
Yes.
Because it can get so...
Exactly. It's similar.
It's similar. It is not the same.
It's not the same. Despite what's often been said, endometriosis is not misplaced uterine lining. This is critical distinction there.
Absolutely.
The endometriosis tissue is biologically and pathologically different from the actual endometrium, which is the uterus.
Yes.
the key word, I'm going to say it again, is similar, not the same. That means it's not a disease of the uterus and it cannot be cured by a hysterectomy, and it is not a period disease. Endometriosis can cause debilitating pain, not just during your period, and there is currently no cure.
And I think that's a really important sentence also, because it is not a period disease. I don't know about you, but personally, I feel pain every day, whether I'm ovulating, when I've got my period, whatever it may be.
Yes.
It's there.
It
doesn't just pop up when your period arrives.
It's not it's not how it works.
Yeah.
And actually, if it worked like that,
it would be fine. It wouldn't be fine. But
like,
it would be better.
It would be better. I know for me, ovulation is the most painful than period.
Same. So I think that's, and again, we'll touch on that topic later down the track as well, because I think that's a whole episode in itself. And I want to read about why the definition matters, and again, on our trusty paper, and I just want to read from it so that I'm getting it right. So because of this common misunderstanding, endometriosis is often dismissed as just bad period pain or treated with approaches that don't address the root issue. For example, a hysterectomy may help treat
adenomyosis.
Thank you. Adenomyosis, which is a different disease affecting the uterine wall. But it does not cure endometriosis, which can exist everywhere in the body. And I think that's something that we need to preface is I have heard people say, oh, why don't you get a hysterectomy? Or they have had hysterectomies to cure their endometriosis, and it will not take it away. And again, it can exist anywhere in the body. It has been found in every major organ, including the bowel, bladder, diaphragm, and even the lungs or brain. In extremely rare cases, endometriosis has been found in people assigned male at birth. Now, that is really rare, but that is wild.
I know, isn't it wild? I just found out the other day, like I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about it, and I was like, hey, I need to do my research on this. And
we need to dive deeper into that.
Yeah, we need to dive deeper into that. Because, again, it's not a period disease. It's not a women's disease.
Yeah,
it's a disease.
It's just a disease. Yep. Endometriosis is an inflammatory disease. Tissue doesn't just sit there, it's active, inflammatory, and can cause organs to stick together, which are adhesions. It can create scar tissue, ongoing inflammation. And I think the ongoing inflammation isn't just where your endo is, it's full body.
Yeah.
And it's debilitating, and it's, again, non-cyclical pain. It's not just during your period.
Yeah. I think that's really important.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like everyone just associates it with your period. I know, even everyday life, I'll just have my heat pack on and they'll be like, oh, you've got your period. No,
I don't. I'm just
a gal with a heat pack carrying it around.
Having a flare up again.
Totally.
And we're laughing. It's not funny.
No, it's not funny.
If you don't laugh, you'll cry.
Yeah. Some symptoms, but not all. And I feel like we'll dive deeper into this throughout the whole podcast journey. Pelvic pain at any time of the month, bowel symptoms, constipation, diarrhea, painful bowel movements, rectal bleeding, bladder issues, urgency, frequency, pain, and recurrent UTIs, which I feel like a lot of people don't associate with endometriosis.
Absolutely. And I think also as well a symptom of endometriosis is, I'm sorry, that's my frog.
I'm obsessed. I want a frog in my home.
He lives in my pot plant.
I'm obsessed.
Yeah. Sorry about him.
We will try and find the frog and take a photo.
Yeah. And I actually haven't seen him ever, and he's been living in there for like, I don't know, 6 months. Anyway, we'll do a topic on the frog. With the UTIs, I've been to the doctors thinking I've had a really bad UTI, and there has been no sign of one. So I think a symptom of it as well is the feeling of a UTI.
100%, which I also, I get the feeling of a UTI, like weekly.
Same, but it's not
there.
Urine
is your best friend.
Yes.
I still just take it.
I take it all the time.
Because I'm just...
Yep. It's like my cup of coffee.
Yeah, literally. I know. And Ural, if you're listening, I don't like the new change in the lemon flavour.
I also think you need to get new flavours because I'm a little bit over it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And more symptoms, and we will do podcasts just on these as well, because I think they're really important ones to touch on and go deeper into. But painful sex, and I think that's one that not really many people talk about, you know.
No.
But it's a really big part of our lives, like
100%, and our relationship.
yeah, and our partners and
yeah.
everything. So yeah, painful sex is a big one. Severe bloating, which we all know as endo belly.
Yeah.
I think I've had endo belly for the last 4 years, and I think I've not ever had endo belly.
Yeah.
It's just now my belly. Fatigue and nausea, and that's just to kind of
yeah, that's just a few.
yeah. There's
That's
a lot
just
more
a few.
to talk about, but yeah. So those are some symptoms, and I think people just think it's just pain.
Yeah.
It's not. It's a full body disease.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of the symptoms have been misdiagnosed.
Absolutely.
Like people will be diagnosed with IBS and like
UTIs, anxiety, and again, that's a whole nother mental health.
Mental health.
I don't know. Like before I got diagnosed, I was in and out of hospital with bad periods and also kidney infections.
Yeah.
From UTIs, which never, I don't think was the case.
You did actually have a UTI.
But I think they were just putting it down to that because they didn't know what else it was. But actually it was, a flare-up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so...
Again, if you don't laugh, you'll cry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. And I think some reasons why, which I actually met up with some friends today, and she was questioning whether to explore the fact if she had endometriosis because she was really feeling like she has all the symptoms, all the signs, but was kind of didn't really know the next steps and just kept putting it off, and was like it didn't really affect her life too greatly except around the time of her ovulation. So she was like, I'm too busy, like I'll move on. But I think it's really important to find out if you do have endometriosis.
Exactly.
Like it can affect your fertility if you do leave it in your body for too long.
Exactly.
Also your mental health, like that for her, like not knowing.
Yeah.
Like
it's not normal to be in pain. I think you've got pain at any time of your cycle. It isn't normal. So get it looked at, you know, get it checked out. And it can take ages to get an endo diagnosis. But I think if you go to a specialist and say, this is what I think I've got and I want a laparoscopy, surely...
I mean, that's also a whole nother podcast because we all know like how...
I mean, it took me 10 years.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it took me 12. Yeah. It's not easy, and we're definitely we're here to give you the tips and tricks.
Onto how to get there easier.
Tips and tricks is not the word.
I mean...
We're going to give you advice and our experience, and also hear from some trusted experts on the questions to ask, the questions we asked, how to advocate for yourself. I feel like it's really scary to advocate for yourself, especially when your GP, who you're supposed to trust, turns around and says, no, you should go on the pill.
Absolutely. They just dismiss you.
But if you really do need to advocate for yourself, because no one is going to do it for you.
It makes you go crazy.
It makes you go crazy.
I actually thought I was crazy.
Yeah, it does make you go crazy. Yeah.
Again, we'll touch on that.
Yeah, we're going to definitely dive into all of this. We've got a lot to say.
We really do.
We've got a lot to say. And yeah, I think above all, it affects your quality of life.
Absolutely.
So I feel like that diagnosis, even if it just helps mentally.
And also then knowing how to navigate that, and knowing that something is wrong and that you're not just...
You're not crazy.
Making it up, or you're not crazy.
Exactly.
Because that's how you're kind of treated.
Definitely. So I think, we're going to put some resources in our show notes. So if you think you have endometriosis, you know someone who does, you know someone and you think they have endometriosis, a loved one, or you just want to be supportive and understand it more, we'll put all the links in the show notes. But I highly recommend anyone who is starting on the journey to purchase the book How to Endo by Bridget Hustwaite.
It is.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that book saved me.
Me too. I don't know how I would have gotten through my first surgery without that book.
Even just like the little pack list of what to take to hospital.
Oh my God, that pack list of what to take to hospital.
That book is amazing. Bridget, that book is amazing.
Bridget. Even like how to research your surgeon.
Yeah. Questions to
ensure
ask.
that they're doing the right thing for you. Yeah, so important. Another one that I follow on Insta and has such amazing resources and research papers is Endo Girls blog. It's amazing. They're on Instagram and their website. I highly recommend checking that out. It also dives deeper into the difference between endometriosis and the endometrium, which is the uterus.
Yeah.
So that we can definitely make sure everyone knows it's not the same, it's similar.
Yes. Yeah. Everyone got to be on the same page.
Yes, but thank you so much for listening.
Our first episode of Endo Meets Us. We did it.
We did it. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. And we have so much more coming for you guys. This is just a brief overrun of who we are, why we're here, and what we want to talk about. But we have a lot of episodes.
We do. So
a lot to unpack.
Definitely follow us. We're on Instagram as Endo Meets Us. And we'd really love to hear from you.
Yes.
So please DM us.
And if you've got any questions or you want us to talk about a certain topic, please let us know, because we are more than happy to answer any questions or give any of our advice that we can, just so we can help out. Yeah,
definitely. We also recommend doing your own research. Obviously, we're not health experts.
Not at all.
We just had to become experts in our own bodies, and we recommend everyone, do your own research, dig deeper.
Yeah.
Not trust the first thing that you hear.
No, please don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just here to kind of talk about our journeys, and hopefully if it helps, if it resonates with you, then that's our goal. Yeah.